Hello and welcome everyone to the second week of action in the Montreal Overwatch League. I am Movie and I am joined today by my good friend Dimi Kanto. How are you doing, Dimi?
Not too bad today.
Are you expecting some good matches for this week?
I'm expecting some spicy games. We have a lot of new teams this season, and we're looking forward to see what they have to offer us.
Yeah, and a lot of new teams for us, the English casting team, to catch tonight as the Psychopaths will be facing Vicious Phantom and Concordia Esports, a team we are very familiar with. Will be facing Team Status, the victor of their last match last week on Thursday. We will be seeing all of those players evolve in a new setting against new teams, and we are looking forward to seeing what the Psychopaths can do after a convincing victory last week over Team Status Dusk. Now, the maps this week are, I believe, Lijiang,
Yep.
Route 66,
Yep.
and Temple
There we
of
go.
Anubis. And as the maps are set for us this week, I want to know, Dimi, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. I believe Lijiang Tower is a very popular pick for pretty much every competitive team out there these days. Obviously, a very interesting pick for practically any team to evolve on. A very balanced map, beloved by the community. Route 66, pretty much the same here. One of the favored payload maps in the game right now. Temple of Anubis, obviously a bit of controversy on that map
Nobody
because
likes
it is a
Anubis.
2CP, but that is the name of the game. I want to know, though, you know a lot about Concordia. We're going to talk a bit more about Psychopaths versus Vicious Gaming, but I want to know, what do you think these two teams have in store for us today?
Well, I'm really interested to see what Concordia does. We might see a few changes with their roster this week, so we'll see about that. Team Status, though, for me, are relative unknown. I've only watched one game of them, so I'd like to see what they have tonight.
All right. I know for a fact that last week Ginger Ale kind of popped off with the Widowmaker. Very good scan player, hit scan player, I should say. And I am very interested in seeing what he can bring to Lijiang Tower, a team where Widowmaker is probably not a fantastic pick in most situations, maybe switching to other hit scan characters. But then again, I mean, 76 and McCree have been dominating Lijiang for, a year
Ever.
now.
Pretty much ever since the beginning of this game, McCree Soldier go-tos on King of the Hill maps, pretty much. So
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to watch. Vicious Phantom, team from all over Quebec, a couple of players from Sherbrooke, a couple of players from Abitibi. We know they can do a lot. They are probably the underdogs in this specific matchup. They have lost their first game of the season against Team Status, but they have been evolving along the flow of the season since the opening week of the tournament that decided which teams would be a part of the Montreal Overwatch League. And as they qualified, they got better and better, and this week will probably be maybe a good indicator of how the season will fare for them and where they might end up on the leaderboard as Psychopaths are trying to win their second game in a row. Thursday was a big day of action for the French casting team. We had a lot of fun here because, hey, doesn't look like it, but I'm here every day.
oh boy.
So it was pretty fun watching those teams evolve. And I'm looking forward to Team Status this week because they've shown a lot of promise, exactly like Vicious Phantom. But unlike Vicious Phantom, they won their first game. And that was something they will not forget very soon. Last week, though, if we want to give you a recap of what happened on Wednesday, the Grizzlies won their opening game against Mirage. I am told right now, though, that we are headed towards our first game of the day. Vicious Phantom versus Psychopaths, the first game today, the first game of the second week, and we are headed to Lijiang Tower. Here we go, Psychopaths versus Vicious Phantom.
So Lijiang, pretty standard comp so far. I'd like to see something spicy.
Something spicy here comes.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing Moira, I'm seeing Roadhog on the side of Vicious Phantom, and I am seeing a character we have seen throughout the last week in Reaper.
Yep.
One of the characters we discussed as being a simple force of destruction. What do you think about this pick from Vicious?
Reaper is really good on King of the Hill and capture point maps because you could clear the end point with the Reaper ultimate. So it's kind of used as a pick to shred tanks and then just eliminate everyone from the point and just end that game right there with no contest, pretty much.
Okay, well, as we said, maybe the Hurricane will run in favor of Vicious Phantom in this one. We were talking about Ginger Ale a bit earlier. He's not going to go for Widow. Instead, going to pick Hanzo. This is the spicy pick you were maybe hoping for.
Tracer.
No way.
Joke,
no.
It was Tracer.
They are trying to trick us. The casting team is all over the place. Ginger Ale finally going to pick Tracer, going to head towards the point immediately as Vicious Phantom take control of this one for now. Arakin with the Pharah in the air, hovering the point, trying to find a target. Here we go. This is the first engagement from the first game. Arakin still trying to find this Reinhardt, trying to bring him down. But for the lineup, this is very good. Absolutely fantastic from Simferos. And have a field day on that point. First of Lijiang Tower. Arakin still trying to get away, maybe save his life and come back to fight another day.
So Psychopath Gaming actually pulling off. They looked like they had that point for a second, doing a lot of damage with the Pharah, but then Vicious Phantom just seemed to claw it back and take the point back from them. So now you're going to have a really standard setup with the double tanks.
Interesting presence so far from Vicious Phantom, trying to hide and fucked up. Wow, I just said that out loud and I realized that, oh God, we're going to call him top from now on. That's the way it is. Lovebot going to get the ultimate going as Psychopaths are regaining control of this one. That was a very quick fight from Psychopaths. They obliterated Vicious Phantom.
The tanks dropped, and then you pretty much have nothing left on the side of Vicious Phantom. They're running triple tank right now, so if at any point your main anchors in Winston and Reinhardt drop, you're going to have a bad day.
Obviously, that's what you get for calling yourself that name, my friend. Trying to trick the casting team, and Ginger Ale being aggressive right now. Psychopaths are going to win another fight. Very aggressive on the side of Psychopaths Gaming. Are really trying to push them backwards into their spawn point. I'll be keeping someone back to keep their sights on that point. But they are going forward, 36% and going for them right now. Trying to find a way to block every point of entry for Vicious Phantom.
Ult's up for Psychopaths Gaming. They're going to try and fight up here, but the D.Va Ultimate's actually going to get two people. How?
And three with the mech. The delayed mech response. Going to get another kill right after in Simferos.
Oh, all right.
He's going to go down. Ginger Ale going to taunt a tiny bit. Is going to shoot straight in that hole, and that's good for them. Psychopaths are confident that they can take this round. 67% and going. Vicious Phantom fumbling around the entry point for this so craved objective right now. Mighty Magic's going to try to use the bubble, give a bit of leeway to his team. He's going to jump in, go inside the point as soon as possible.
Sound barrier used to get onto the point. Are we going to see a Reaper Beyblade?
Arakin's going on the point, and he immediately pops the ultimate. That's going to be 3 kills. 4 if you count that mech. D.Va is still alive, but not for long. And boom goes the dynamite. Mighty Magic's gone. And the suicide attempt from Ginger Ale. Just a bit of BM on his side. Psychopaths win round number 1.
Interestingly enough, we saw Vicious Phantom not opt for the Mercy. It actually instead chose Lucio and Moira, which are pretty common nowadays with the triple tank meta.
Yeah, Lucia, the new sister of Lucio in this game. Is that correct?
Lucia Moira, that's the combo. That's
Lucia
the nickname.
Moira. Okay, so Unova this time around is going to go for Orisa, character that's been dominating tech meta so far. But on Lijiang Tower, it's going to be difficult to force the opposition to bite on that hook. They are obviously going for a boop comp right now, trying to get the picks on that bridge. But hey, time will tell if Psychopaths bite on that. Arakin really efficiently scouting the way forward, going really high up in the air, waiting for the opposition to come around on the point. And Vicious Phantom just as they did in the previous round, take control of that point as soon as possible. But this time around, Psychopaths are contesting.
That's a good pick, though, to start off this fight.
Not dead yet, but Love, but finally falls to Nova. Trades are going in the favor of Psychopaths, though. Immediately, this fight is won by Psychopaths. Vicious Phantom are going to have to work a tiny bit harder if they want to get that point. They do have a bit of time to work with now. They don't have ultimates. Neither does Psychopaths. Arakin, the closest one in the team, next to Ginger Ale.
Moira ult, though, coming up soon, as well as the whole hog. They want to try and get anything out of it. Oh, unfortunate.
It's a good pick from Ginger Ale on the ultimate. He uses it in order to stop this oncoming train from Vicious Phantom. They are backing off intelligently.
They're getting stuck in this choke, though.
Not exactly the position they want to be in right now. Vicious Phantom losing players left and right, and that respawn timer not going to work in their favor. 40% and climbing for Psychopaths, and we're going to have at least another 20% before Vicious Phantom can do anything to contest that point.
Yeah, there's a bit of spawn camping going on right now. They're going to pop those ultimates to try and get back into this fight.
Strategy seems to be simple on the side of Psychopaths.
Diva.
Kill, 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 and it seems to be working so far. 60% as we called it. Arakin falls, but not before killing 2 members of Vicious Phantom. Unova is going to fall to his doom, and if PGG
No, you won't.
going to resurrect Arakin to hold that point as long as possible. Lovebot probably didn't even need that ultimate, but he still used it. 77%. Vicious Phantom are looking pretty beat up right now. They're still moving forward. There's not a lot of strategy in there, but there we go. Mighty Magics finally gets the kill on Ginger Ale, the opening pick for this fight. They are trading.
Trying to look for the Fair. He's gonna not get him. Unfortunate.
Still a good presence so far from Vicious Phantom. Gonna use the ultimate now. And Zenyatta probably gonna give them enough time to win this one. And Psychopaths Gaming easily take game number 1 on Lijiang Tower over Vicious Phantom.
So Lijiang is one of those maps where as soon as things go bad, they really go bad. And you can't really get out of it because the ultimates just come in and punish you even harder. So, on to Root for them.
Exactly, and Route 66 probably going to be favored here for Vicious Phantom. Probably going to find a slower pace to be beneficial for them. It seems like forcing their way into the point wasn't exactly their forte in this game, and they had a lot of issues trying to get the initial pick. They were always just a bit too far forward at the engagement point of the fights and kind of didn't get what they wanted out of those. I don't know what you thought about Lijiang Tower. Obviously, Psychopaths took it quickly, but maybe you have some insight that I don't.
With the comp, really, that Vicious Phantom played, running that triple tank with the Reinhardt, Winston, and Roadhog, and their Lucio Moira, you really need to deathball. You need to group up as a team and just pick down targets one at a time. You kind of just snowball the enemy team by just grouping up, speeding up with Lucio, and just brute forcing the enemy team through them, but they didn't really do that, and they had a hard time getting that initial frag, which led to them getting picked off over and over during the course of the fight, which led to their demise.
Maybe a bit of lack of understanding of the positioning that could lead them to victory here. Moira, definitely a character that you use, just like you said, in dead ball comps, where she excels if she can heal as fast as possible.
Don't need to aim, you just look at them and heal them up.
Exactly, and when you get the ultimate, eventually, you get the Kamehameha, and you activate that ultimate, and everything goes wrong for the opposition.
Gang, 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 and then everyone is gone.
He's using the meme. No, what's happening now? Oh God, we discussed this. We discussed this, Dimi.
It needed to come out.
It did. It did need to come out. But we are going into our next game pretty soon. Psychopaths do lead 1-0 so far. Vicious Phantom are going to try as hard as they can to get anything going for them. Because on their side, I'm looking at what their composition is bringing to the table. And just like you said, there seems to be a bit of a lack of cohesion between all the members of the team. and they are trying to brute force their way into things, but they're not picking the right targets. They're not actually just as a unit trying to get going on the same fight. It feels like there are two teams in this one unit where they pick the targets they want and nothing seems to be working too well for them. We are going on Route 66 though. This is going to be one incredible experience for Psychopaths if they can stop the onslaught of Vicious Phantom. Sorry, if Vicious Phantom can stop the onslaught of Psychopaths, they may be able to go on Temple of Anubis. Route 66, as you said, very classic map for Overwatch. Very favored by standard teams with standard compositions that can just play mechanically really well.
Especially if you're playing Dive a lot, Route 66, and generally all escort maps are usually what you want to play on. Because straightforward, get a pick, move that payload, keep going with that payload. No real chokes to hold to an extent, but should see a different Vicious Phantom and different Psychopaths on this map.
Absolutely, and considering how Psychopaths, again, mixing up the team names, considering how Vicious Phantom was playing with the dead ball comp, maybe a payload map will be favorable to them. We are, though, going into our second map of this game between Psychopaths and Vicious Phantom, and we didn't get a chance to go over all of these players at the beginning of the first map, but we will now. For Vicious Phantom, we have Nostra with Mercy. Mighty Magix is going to go on the Genji, Unova on D.Va, Sorrow on Lucio, Top on Winston, and Simferas is going for the Pharah. And on the sides of Psychopaths Gaming, we have Insight on Zenyatta, Erican on Junkrat, Fika on D.Va, FBGG on Mercy, Lovebot on Orisa, and Ginger Ale on Soldier 76. Here we go, Psychopaths Gaming versus Vicious Phantom. 40 seconds left in bringing this team together. Let's see if there are any changes to the compositions that we are seeing on our screens right now.
Lovebot, interestingly enough, playing the role of his character as a robot, just picking a robot himself.
Just a beautiful Lovebot, the mighty cube. The love cube. No? No one
guess.
Portal? Guys, come on. The companion cube.
Well, that's not a love bot. Lovebot might be something a bit weirder.
In there. There's a lot of love in that cube, okay?
I guess. It's just the cube you put on things.
No. Okay. It's a very beautiful big bunch of love. You clearly didn't get the game.
Dude, I play racing games. I don't know. I look at race cars and I'm like, does it go fast? Yes, I like.
Go for the kart racing game. Here we go. The second map on Route 66. It's happening right now. Psychopaths Gaming versus Vicious Phantom.
Sneaky.
And going into tunnel, abandoning the payload. It's going to be only...
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, only Sorrow left on that payload with a Zenyatta. They are going for something here. Mighty Magix. He's on the bridge and he's trying to flank really easily. He gets trapped though. That's not a situation you want to be in, and immediately goes down. And as this fight goes to Psychopaths Gaming, Vicious Phantom trying to back off.
Oh no.
Every player getting picked off like this. That is not how you wanted to start this map. Psychopaths immediately taking control of that payload. And Vicious Phantom is going to have to change the strategy as soon as possible.
Well, that strat actually looked really good at the beginning. They got a jump on the enemy team, and for a second it looked at Vicious Phantom. If they could pick up those two crucial kills on the Mercy and on the Zenyatta, they probably would have gotten something further, but already Riptire coming out.
Wow. Amazing precision on Erican, getting the Riptire immediately at the beginning of this game, and he's still going to pick up Simferas, so that is a good pick for him. Value on that ultimate, and he's going to pick up the other one, the next one, pretty easily, pretty soon, 12% already. Go on there, the fight slowly happening, picks left and right. Bit of a discordant game right now for Vicious Phantom. They need to find their center.
That initial push, though, looks so promising.
They had the right strategy in mind.
That was something new. I've never really seen all the teams just group up and kind of wait and sneak up to them. So I really like that from Vicious Phantom. If they could actually execute that dive a little bit better, probably would have worked out for them. But
just like you said, maybe just the lack of execution. The ideas are there, but mechanically speaking, Psychopaths are still getting the better of Vicious Phantom. And they will for a little while still, as they get a couple of picks on Vicious's team. And
They're getting staggered pretty hard here right now.
they look pretty beat up. Vicious Phantom kind of fumbling and stumbling on strategies here and there, but never really quite capable of bringing them to life. Psykopaths still have a couple of ultimates up their sleeve, and they're going to use that next time Vicious try to get on that point. A bit of an interesting decision there. Sorrow going out there, facing the other team. Don't exactly think he expected Psykopaths to be ready for that, but they were. They knew exactly where he was. Insight. Good couple of shots on that. Absolutely fantastic. Insight picks up Nostra straight in the air like this. What precision on that Zenyatta player. Fika still looking at it, and yes, of course, he's going to go downstairs, and whoop, I'm back up. This is an elevator. Goes both ways.
Pay a little visit to him down south.
Down south. Arakin still shooting those grenades, and whew, very difficult to deal with. If you're Vicious Phantom right now, you're probably getting frustrated over and over again. This team really doing well on defense. Psykopaths capable of finding exactly the right picks at the right moments, and again, Symphoros, probably the pillar of the offensive capacity for Vicious Phantom, gets picked every single time, first thing in the morning, doesn't even have time to brush his teeth.
That's actually going to be a really good pick, because Junkrat was holding off that point pretty much by himself with the Orisa.
And if Mighty Magic can get something else here, might get something out of it. But he does fall to Insight. Again, Insight kind of been one of the pillars for his team. He's been getting those picks with that support, and a deadly support is an effective one. They are, though, still in overtime and pushing that payload forward. They did win that last fight. Psykopaths finally pushed back. Can they get on that payload soon enough?
Tech Visor is up. They could use it if they get the opportunity to here right now in this choke.
Especially if you combine it with Unova's ultimate.
Psychopaths are just buying time for the rest of their team to come here. They're going to try and fight this.
Going to contest. They're trying to get the pick here. They are going for Sorrow, and that is one support down in this fight. Visor activated for Symphoros, and he is pushing back. The two supports are dead, and now it is Diva completely down. He finally falls to Fika, but that is a
They're gonna get it.
too little too late. Ginger Ale is trying to fight back, but he's going to die immediately. And they did get the first checkpoint. Finally, something going the way of Vicious Phantom.
So what really worked out there was the actual Soldier ultimate just picked out Mercy immediately with the Pharah and the Junkrat. Oh, well, before the Junkrat, probably now the Pharah. But they did get the point. And now they have another 2 minutes and 20 to try and get this as far as they can. This point a bit easier than the first one.
Definitely more of a straight line to the third checkpoint, but that last line of defense is going to be incredibly difficult.
They gotta protect their supports there. You can't let the Winston just jump on him and not look at him at all.
Yeah, and again, one of the defining... Oh, boy! 3 kills on top with the Diva. Absolutely fantastic, and that is how you win a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Diva's still alive. No mech left, but still a chance to get it back as soon as possible. We'll try to shoot that big hurt box in the middle of the road. Ooh, wow, Insight. I know where you hide. I know where you're hiding. I know where you live.
Assassin Zenyatta, the deadliest of assassins.
Absolutely. Psykopaths slowly taking back control of this game. They do have a minute left. Vicious Phantom will have to do something here if they want to move forward. Keep this game alive. Keep the dream alive. Arakin still hovering over that battlefield, trying to pick his targets efficiently. They go for the Diva. Wow. Incredible team effort from Vicious Phantom, getting all those picks at once. And that's going to be it for this fight. Vicious Phantom going on the second checkpoint. No contest here. And just like you said, that line moving forward. This third checkpoint, though, always a bit more complicated for every single team out there.
Especially because of the spawn being right next to the final checkpoint, it always ends up in a struggle. But Vicious Phantom has been picking their targets pretty well at the start of the fights. We saw them fumble a little bit early on, but now they seem to have figured it out for a little bit.
He here seems to be protecting Syntheros, a really talented player here, but he does tend to die a bit early in team fights. If he doesn't, he does bring the hurt to Psychopaths. And just as I say this, thinking live, Vicious Phantom still finding their way to death as Psychopaths defend that third checkpoint really efficiently. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this game. Still a bit of hope for Vicious Phantom. Can they make it to that third checkpoint?
If D.Va loses her mech here, might be bad.
Yeah, 6 health gets that last bit of damage on the mech. Not exactly what you want out of your D.Va. Still trying to pick up that mech.
Especially with a minute to go, you don't really want your tank being 150 HP.
Yeah, and that's a lot of time you're wasting. On the side of Psychopaths, this is probably the best possible scenario. They don't have the D.Va still at 70% and going on the ultimate. It's going to take a bit of time still for Top to get that mech, defend his team.
I don't agree with dropping down there.
And just as I was saying, Syntheros still falling exactly when he was needed.
His team a bit lacked pushing up with him too. They have 5 ultimates up. They've gotta.
Yeah, can they get there in
They've
time,
gotta
though?
try something.
They need to use those ultimates wisely, though, because one simple team fight is not gonna do it. The respawn timer is too close to the point. You need to use them wisely, and they are starting to waste them a bit here. They need to get on that payload.
Graviton.
Nice. Good Top trying to defend the team. And go for something here. Nothing happening on the side of Arakin.
That's
with
2. That's 3 picks.
They only have 1 ultimate left, and it's Tops. Can he do anything with it? They are getting the picks, though, and they are slowly winning this first fight.
Very amped up in the next room that fight went according to Vicious Phantoms.
Syntheros do something here. He can't fall. If he dies, it's over. And immediately, Ginger Ale. We were talking about it earlier, and we have seen it last week using that Widowmaker. And goodbye, Syntheros. Goodbye, team fight. You don't have the necessary offense to finish the job. Psychopaths Gaming will hold, and Vicious Phantom will have to work with only 2 points for the upcoming round. Probably the best possible scenario for Psychopaths.
Valiant effort, though, on the last 2 points of that map. They got it as far as they possibly could in that little time span that they had.
Honestly, that Widow pick right at the end,
That was
an
dirty.
incredible surprise.
That was dirty.
It is absolutely impossible that Syntheros was expecting anything of the sort. He had not been playing against a Widow all game and in the previous map. So I don't exactly think that it was even a possibility in his mind to get picked from that angle. He forgot about it and immediately got vaporized.
You're just thinking, I'm going to get high ground over here and set up for this next fight. Bop. One shot.
And he had the right idea, too. He wanted to build the ultimate. He was somewhat close to it, around 60% if I remember correctly. I might be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. But still, getting a bit of damage in, a bit of ultimate charge. Wanted that next fight to go well for his team. And again, just got picked right before he was needed. And that's all she wrote for that one. There we go, placing themselves on that high ground. This composition not exactly too different from the one we have seen on Psychopath's side earlier on.
Pretty similar to what they ran before, minus the Reaper. But Psychopaths' comp, though, they're looking for a pick.
They are. They are definitely looking for something here. The initial pick here could be completely deadly. Now, Fika is going to be using Widowmaker, as he did before, as he did in the first map, I think, for the first couple of seconds of Lijiang Tower. No, he's still going to go for D.Va. Oh, man, those players trying to beat the casters, but you can't beat the casters. We see everything.
We see everything all the time. Absolutely, we are always there. We are watching. We are the ones who watch.
Yes, we are. Here we go on that second round. Psychopaths Gaming versus Vicious Phantom. Can they hold? That is the quintessential problem here for Vicious Phantom. If they die, oh boy, and Sorrow gets picked by Ginger Ale, flanking perfectly right now. If he picks the second support, it could be over very quickly,
6
but
HP.
no. Defending themselves, Sympharos on the Reaper, getting that Diva man, getting Ginger Ale. Arakin still doing some damage to Vicious.
The cart is moving though.
Moving forward much faster than it did on the side of Vicious Phantom, but we've seen holds, spectacular holds on that third point, and that's all they need.
Gonna have to do it for a long time though.
Yeah, well, it's definitely going to be difficult, but we've seen crazier things happen. Psychopaths still working forward with that payload. Still rounding up, and Arakin, that beautiful flank and 3 kills on that Riptire. Arakin proving himself to be the bigger man in this fight. A 4th kill for him as Unova falls, and whew, Vicious Phantom don't know where to run.
This rat is everywhere. Where is he coming from? Coming from the sky, coming from the sides. My god.
I wish we had seen Arakin set up that Riptire and go so... He was so sneaky about it. I didn't see him move there, and I didn't... I'm the caster. We said it before. We see everything, and we didn't see him come in through that tunnel. Ginger Ale can fall, though. That's a good point for Vicious Phantom right now.
Really need to go contest this Junkrat. They're trying to, but he's getting the upper hand on everything.
This is good. No Diva. Mech left, and they're still fighting. Arakin doing so much damage to Vicious Phantom. I can understand why they'd be frustrated in that team fight, and Sympharos immediately dies. Boop. Gets squashed as he activated the spin to win. In this case, not a lot of winning on that spinning.
That's pretty much a desperation Beyblade from Reaper, trying to hold on to that point as long as possible, but he got bubbled instantly and demolished.
Well, it's not like you can't hear the die, die, die.
No, no. The audio cue giving it away a little bit.
They are so sneaky. Psychopaths is doing so well on those surprise plays, and Ginger Ale.
Oh no.
Oh, that's Riptire.
No.
Please, God, leave them be. Arakin gets Sympharos again with a Riptire. Gets a second kill on Nostra. No biggie. He's going to go ahead and just deal all of that damage and give all of the space to his team. Oh, they've given up. No way. Mighty Magics. Was he actually doing a Riptire there? Or yeah, he was. Oh, I thought he had stopped moving. Defeated. Not defeated quite yet. They can technically hold. Can they do it for no? And it's over. Psychopaths Gaming wins this game 2-0 against Vicious Phantom. Well, well, well. Good effort on Vicious Phantom on Route 66. They did really well after being held for so long. In that first point, they went all the way, so close to the third one, couldn't quite get there, but on that offense, man, Psychopaths just tore through the opposition. Look at that beautiful play of the game. Arakin, the sneakiest Junkrat ever to grace the Montreal Overwatch League. Fantastic use of the Riptire there. I don't know what you thought about this, but man, Psychopaths are looking good.
Yeah, Psychopaths. Kind of hard to look into that game analytically because Psychopaths pretty much dominated 90% of that game besides a little bit en route at the end. But we did see a lot of good things out of Vicious Phantom. They ran some comps that were interesting. They had good strategies going into the maps that kind of surprised Psychopaths, but the execution just wasn't there in the end.
I think this was probably the major factor in Vicious Phantom's defeat. Execution, execution, execution. You have to practice those plays every single week if you want them to work against the best. And Psychopaths understood what they were going for as they saw it. Probably were just as surprised as us to see them just regroup in the tunnel and wait for the fight. But there is nothing you can do if you're simply waiting. You need to coordinate your team to do something after you wait. And if you can surprise the opposition and get those picks going, you can win a team fight. You can win 2 team fights. You can win a single game. But
Especially
you need to
versus
do it every time.
especially versus a Junkrat. Like if you're hiding in that hole together and you're kind of just waiting for stuff to happen, he's just gonna get free all charge on you. He's just making money, just shooting you in that tunnel. So
He's just charging, supercharging, hulking out.
I mean, he
well,
had Riptire in 10 seconds.
Man, Erican was doing so much damage, and we haven't seen, in this game specifically, we haven't seen that many Riptires, but when they were there, they were incredibly helpful to the team, but not just helpful, they were simple and well-placed, and sometimes they only got one target, but that's all you need to get the value out of it. Just get one early pick in a team fight, and then you stop. And that's how it worked with Erican. That's how it worked with Psychopaths. Well, that's how it is for the first game of the night. Psychopaths wins it 2-0, and we will be going on a break for a couple of minutes, but after the break, Concordia Esports will be facing Team Status. And as we said earlier, Team Status on the up and up, but Concordia Esports, one of the pillars of the Montreal Overwatch League, third overall, third or fourth overall in the first one, and then third overall in the second one, have been consistent every single time they have been on the field. We will see if they can stop what seems to be like one of the best up-and-coming teams of the Montreal Overwatch League in Team Status. We will be back in 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere.